up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So the Abyss of Nagath update just released like an hour ago, and with it came Grendel Prime Access. And alongside Grendel Prime Access, we got some Riven disposition changes, basically changing the stats of already existing Rivens, and we'll be reviewing those in this video. If you enjoy these types of videos, and just Warframe videos in general, make sure you sub to this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads, even more than daily sometimes. Also, come stop at the live stream channel. I'm probably testing out new Abyss of Nagath changes right now. Alright, now that we've gotten that over, let's go ahead and see if DE stuck to their word. Did they nerf the Incarnate Rivens? Did they decide anything was problematic? Time to figure out this very moment. So we got the official Warframe Riven change. I almost call it Riven nerf, but I haven't even looked at the stats yet, so it's not Riven nerfs yet. Let's go ahead and read this verbatim. Greetings, Tenno. Grendel Prime Access has rolled out across all platforms, along with our Abyss of Nagath update. Read on for a heaping helping of Riven Dispo talk. My favorite kind of talk. Not really. Some of you may recall that our last Riven Dispo change involved a pause on Riven Dispo decreases, as we observed the usage stats of the newest Incarnate weapons. While these weapons are obviously quite powerful, our stats show that 6 months after the release, none of them are problematically meta-defining. So unless that changes, we plan to leave Rivens which affect Incarnates untouched for the foreseeable future. Okay, there you go. Your Rivens are safe. Unless they become problematic, and they're not problematic right now, they are safe. They are safe from now on. That's great. So just happy smiles and rainbows from now on with Incarnate Rivens. In the grand scheme of Warframe, Rivens contribute less to a weapon's overall performance than they did on release in 2016. So while adjustments do help us fine-tune usage and strength, we've heard your reactions to regular Dispo decreases and have decided to try things a bit differently going forward. We will try our best to avoid decreases from now on. That's what I'm talking about. Try your best. Yeah, I don't foresee a Riven nerf ever again now. Well, how ridiculous would the weapon have to be more problematic than the Ceramic Dagger Incarnate, or the Torrid Incarnate, or the whatever, the S-tier Incarnate? It would have to be worse than that, meta-defining wise, to become warranting a nerf on Rivens. So that's really, really good stuff to read right there. We still withhold the right to address over-inflated values when necessary to change this approach if it doesn't work out. But if a weapon is problematically powerful, we would ideally ensure the base weapon is in the right place before we consider a Dispo reduction. Makes sense. Nerfing a 0.6 Dispo Riven to a 0.5 Dispo Riven is not going to change the weapon that much. So similar to last time, here's our current round of Dispo changes. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so before I look at these, I can already predict what's going to happen here. There will be, that weapon got buffed 0.5, that weapon got buffed 0.5. There will be, an astronomical amount of weapons that are not used and are, actively bad in the current meta of the game that will not have Riven changes on here. Okay? I'm thinking the Tigris. I'm thinking, obviously the Stug, but that's not fair even. Weapons that are like Axolotl Prime. Who even cares about the Axolotl Prime? I'm expecting those types of weapons to not get touched because they never do that. All right, starting off with the first one here, we got the primaries. So the Cinta Bow is going to have its Dispo buffed to 0.85. Okay, cool. That's still not really as good as the Nataruk and the Dread Incarnate and all that, but still, hey, it's got better Rivens than the Nataruk now. Well, it already had better Rivens. The Fulman and Fulman Prime are both getting the Riven Dispos buffed. I think that's actually pretty appropriate because even the Fulman normal nowadays is not feeling as good as it used to be, especially with those Rivens getting nerfed. But the Fulman Prime went from 0.5 to 0.6. Still probably not going to be worth using a Riven on it, honestly. The Prime got a pretty big Riven buff, actually going from 0.5, the lowest possible, to 0.65. The Prime Riven is probably worth it now. The Nataruk got a Riven buff from 0.6 to 0.65. Still, Cinta Rivens are higher, and also, not to mention, Dread Rivens and Paris Rivens are higher too, but still good. Paragel Rivens got buffed. Good. If you use the Paragel for Eidolon Hunts, it's probably a little bit more damage for you. Prisma Lens, remember that thing? Yeah, I didn't think so. From 0.5 to 0.7. And it's still not a Tenet lens. The Rauta, which is the signature shotgun of Kalervo, got a Riven buff from 0.6 to 0.75. And the Stephalos, that random weird shotgun that is technically Citrine's weapon, I think, went from 0.8 to 0.95. So if you got projectile speed Riven, maybe you can actually hit an enemy that's not in melee range now. So good stuff there, but as stated earlier, where's the Tigris? Where's the Karak? Where's that random stuff that no one is really actively using? Would buffing the Rivens for the Tigris change the game? Probably not. It's not changing the game when they don't change them either, so it's just a forgotten weapon. Honestly needs an Incarnate. But yeah, moving on to the pistols. And look at my comment right here. Galvanized Arc Gun mods win. I didn't read it. I saw that they posted it, and I made a comment saying, wins the Galvanized Arc Gun mods. Wow, only 2 pistols got Riven Dispo buffs. The Aphurus Prime went from 0.85 to 0.95, and the Tenant Plinks went from 0.6 to 0.65. Reminder that Synth Charge no longer works on the Tenant Plinks alt fire shot. So, okay. I think that you're missing like at least 20 weapons on here, DE, but okay. And also, no like random Incarnon Riven buffs. Like, even though people were like, hey, there should be some Incarnon Riven buffs for the less used ones. Apparently not. The dispo they have right now is how it's going to stay, apparently. And for melees, we got a lot of melee changes here. The Argo and Vel, that new pretty good sword and shield from Deviri, is going to be getting a Riven buff. That's good. It actually has pretty nice stats. 0.5 to 0.7. The Azothane, the two-handed Nakata from Deviri, is going to get a Riven buff as well to 0.8. Cobra and Crane Prime, who even cares? Chorophel got a Riven buff. That's good. The Edun got a Riven buff. The Gunson Prime got a Riven buff from 0.5 to 0.65. Okay. The Gunson Prime is, like, as far as auto melee is concerned, the Gunson Prime will be very good for auto melee, which is in the game now, so just hold on the button and just slice them all up. But yeah, Riven buff, that's great. I have a Riven for it. The Hespar got a Riven buff, but who cares? Because that thing looks cool and it's not very good in-game. The Prisma Oma went from 0.5 to 0.7. If you remember, the Prisma Oma actually had bugged out disposition from launch, so I'm wondering if they actually nerfed it, technically. Let's go ahead and see the Oma. Okay, so reminder, it had basically the same Riven dispo. Did they nerf it? It looks like they did nerf it, actually. Okay, so that's lower than before, I'm assuming. I should have screenshot that before, but it's still going to have lower dispo than the normal Oma, as it probably should. It's still not, it's honestly, we're so power crept now, it's not a Tenant Oma, I don't even care. The Sorrow Fang, Varuna's signature weapon, got buffed from 0.75 to 0.8. The Slaytra got buffed. Okay, the Stropha got buffed, huh? That's cool. I'm surprised they buffed the Stropha Rivens from 0.5 to 0.55. I mean, I don't think I'm going to even see a big difference on my actual build, but let's just go ahead and see. Okay, I don't think they buffed the Tenant Stropha's dispo. Okay, also look at this, guys. So the new system of how they display these Bane mods, it says times 0.8 damage to Corpus. So that's how a negative Bane looks nowadays. But hey, I got some buffs on here. I don't even remember what it was before, but we got 44% crit damage. It's probably not even worth slotting, but I like this Riven, so I'm going to keep it. So yeah, Stropha Rivens got buffed. I suppose that's fine. I guess Stropha's not getting used as much nowadays as it used to. Sun and Moon got buffed. The Siam also got buffed. And the final change, the most important one of them all, the Larkspur Prime went from 0.6 to 0.65. So my comment, I think, definitely stands true. Galvanized Arcwing Gun mods win. Also, what the heck? Only the Larkspur Prime? You trying to tell me that all the Arcwing guns were good? Besides, this was the crucial change that was needed here. It needs, what, like 2% more multi-shot? Those Arcwing Gun mods are so weak that I doubt you're going to even notice a single. Okay, maybe that's exaggeration. You might notice a little bit of a change. But let's just go ahead and look at my Larkspur Riven. I think DE needs to make some changes to Arcwing guns in the future. 39.6% multi-shot. Okay, it still doesn't seem worth using. This is a nice little UI change right here, the unique trait stuff. So that's your dispo changes, guys. I definitely am not super impressed by them, but I am very happy they said basically no Incarnon Riven dispo nerfs ever. I can kind of interpret that as ever, so if you have your Torrid Riven, you have your Mitre Riven, your Latron Riven, they are safe. And yeah, I would say don't live in fear anymore of Riven nerfs because DE said we good to go. We good to go. It's not problematic at all. So I'll see you guys next video. Appreciate your support. Take it easy. Peace.